Welcome back, my friends, to Deadfire. We're in the Palace District, Serpent's Crown. We're going to go to the Kahanga Palace today and find out what they want from us. And we will tell them about Eothas and the Luminous Ardra problem and everything. That is the problem, and try to get them to support us. Look at that beautiful artwork of the Aumaua. The beautiful waterfalls in this palace. How much work was needed to do something like that?
Hold a moment. You may visit the palace and its shrine, but be warned.
What?
The Queen meets with trading company vipers. Take care you are not bitten.
Okay. That's a strange way to keep about your ally, to speak about your allies.
Words.
The guard gives an untroubled shrug. I've got information for the Queen.
You will find her in her throne room through the door behind me. Inform the guards of your purpose. Whether the Queen will hear you above the baying of her guests is another matter.
He doesn't like them, eh? The guard gestures toward the door, dismissing you. Well then, let's see about the Queen. And of course there's always the court. When you have a queen and a palace, then there's a court. And the court can do a lot, which you might know from games like Crusader Kings. Or from personal experience, if you're royalty. And of course you are. Look at that, what a palace.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
The Valiant dignitary aims a withering look across the aisle. Middle-aged woman with a square jaw and tar-stained teeth meets it.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
She pulls a slender pipe from her pocket, but at a look from the Queen's attendants, she puts it away.
You speak as if I could command the tides. While you are casting your blame in a wide net, why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
A sizable Aumaua standing by the throne takes a bold step forward and flares his nostrils at the assembled dignitaries. A hush falls over the room.
I say our guest forgets himself.
He clears his throat and sweeps his gaze from Nero to the rest of the room. Prince Arui.
Brother, stand down,
says Queen Onekaza. Up to this point, the Queen has studied the proceedings with an even expression. She half rises from her throne as she fixates on Prince Aruihi.
You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us.
As Aruihi lowers his head, the Queen slowly centers her gaze on you and leaves it there.
An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen.
Is she speaking in psychic voices? Though her mouth doesn't move, Onekaza's voice comes to you like an insistent memory nestled among your surface thoughts. Oh, a favorable omen. Well, the favorable omen is that we're here, so we'll nod.
Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves.
Though she turns to the dignitaries, you still feel her attention on you.
This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
The Queen's voice fills with the expansive throne room, leaving you with a hushed silence to fill. And who's Tangaloa? That is the eel that connects the overworld and underworld, life and death. If you know of the Nordic serpent, the world serpent, that is something similar to that. I mean, we could just show it. I mean, really. Manihuanga worship Berath as Rikuhu, the twin eel god that represents the cyclic connection between overworld and underworld, life and death. Rikuhu is often depicted with the two constituent eels, Kohopa representing the overworld and life, and Tangaloa, who represents underworld and death, devouring one another by the tail. In Wanga folklore, Kohopa and Tangaloa were born before time existed, and each had an insatiable appetite. They began to devour all living things, and with each thing devoured they became larger. When there were no living things left to eat, and the two eels were so enormous as to encompass all existence, they began to devour one another. Thus all beings are perpetually passing through the digestive tracts of the two eels. When one reaches the end, it passes through the mouth of the next eel, the gateway to or from the underworld, and the next stage of existence begins. The notion of time is merely one's perception of the digestive process. Well, here you go. That's the interpretation of overworld, underworld, the world beyond. Know that we are just tiny particles in the intestines of an eel. How did you know I'm watching?
She has a keen eye, my sister. Keener than your shooter's bird, Hazanui.
The prince nods toward a woman standing by the Rawatayan admiral, his interest in her unabashed.
Don't listen to Amishi.
She clacks her tongue down at the colorful bird pacing around her feet.
Among her other qualities, the Kahanga queen can speak for herself.
Anikaza folds her hands in her lap and lifts her brow expectantly. What's Hasongo?
One of our busiest ports. Much of the food we send to Rawatai passes through Hasongo.
She glowers, fidgeting for her pipe again. Hazan Wikarum. However, the frown that troubles her features suggests that there's something else of importance at Hasongo. Something she's chosen not to reveal.
I take it from your question that you are not here to enlighten us about Hasongo.
But you have something about that, right? Please the court, I've journeyed from a crippled Port Mage.
I know this one. His parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's Birth.
Raising her hand for silence, Onikaza looks to her brother. He approaches and they exchange a few words too quietly to hear. She lifts her gaze to you once more.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
She opens her palm and waits. Well, Port Mage suffered similar damage when Eothas passed through.
What sailor's tale is this?
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
Nero crosses his arms, looking distinctly uncomfortable.
How came a Watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court.
Eothas emerged from beneath Cardnua, my castle. He made this personal. I'm here against my will. Anyone still listening is free to help me or stay out of my way. Yeah, that's the attitude.
At least you've got gumption. Nothing worse than standing around in the middle of a storm.
She glares briefly at the queen.
What are you asking of us?
I was told you know where to find Luminous Ardra. I can track him through the Ardra veins.
Ah, well, by all means. Let me mark every site of value on your map.
Acting on this threat would be reckless until we understand it better.
Onikaza doesn't look away from you as she addresses the other dignitaries.
I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hasongo.
Onikaza spreads her hands, calmly assured of her reasoning.
Set sail to the west of Nekataka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you. She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Onikaza's gaze wanders back to you only briefly.
Only that Hasongo is a Rawatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
She inclines her chin at another woman standing nearby.
Ma'am.
Composed Aumaua stands at attention, her furrowed brow cleaving down otherwise formed features. Her feet a colorful bird preens itself without concern.
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer.
She looks you in the eye and gives you a slow nod.
Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
Maya sighs with resignation and nudges her bird affectionately with her toe.
Ac, perfito. Do you mean to stop Eothas by shooting him? Seri Pelagina will go with the Watcher. Show him how the Republic's handled things.
Nero waves airily. The guard behind him cuffs politely.
Your Excellency, Palagina Messerai has been banished? She has been seen in Queen's Berth. I can have her report to headquarters.
Nero silences the guard with a withering look and a sharp gesture.
You should feel no obligation to take on additional crew. The choice is yours.
Well, I'll take Maya. Always good to have a rifle on hand.
Say the word and I'll shoot the tip off a green boy's nose.
Ishiza looks up at the Maya and warbles something agreeable.
You are making a mistake, Watcher. In times like these, trustworthy allies are the most valuable asset of all.
Well, you banished Pelagina. How can you be trustworthy?
Calm down, Nero. I'm sure you'll get one of your spies in place eventually.
A lazy half-smile tugs at Karu's mouth.
In the meantime, Watcher, I hope you'll meet me in the Brass Citadel. There's more for us to discuss among friendlier company.
She glares briefly at Nero.
I believe we are finished here. Aruihi?
Queen Onekaza rises from her throne, and the surrounding guards stand at immediate attention.
Aren't we popular? Take care at Hasongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Eothas blundered in.
Onekaza nods to you as she adjourns.
Your allies will use you toward any end. Do not give your trust lightly.
Onekaza clears her throat and sweeps the room with her gaze.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else.
He banishes the foreign dignitaries with a swift and unmistakably disgusted wave. And they go, probably.
Let's speak.
A gunhawk. That sounds funny. Yeah, I want to know about that gunhawk thing. Maya. But we'll not have her in the party, really. We're just...
While we have the chance.
Who else can we speak to? Here? Aruihi is still here. Well, why not talk to him?
Your coming is a favorable omen already.
The prince nods and crosses his arms, a self-satisfied smile on his lips. How's that?
You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. I say the gods have sent us a rare gift wearing a familiar face.
Aruihi plants his hands on his hips and nods. I am not here for the gods. I have my own reasons.
You and half of Aora, I say. I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this. You did not come this far to serve the crown, I say. But sailing is an expensive hobby. Loyal service can keep your galley stocked.
Well, what kind of loyal service do you have in mind?
My sister keeps a tight grip on Nekataka, but the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet.
He opens his hand for emphasis and wipes it across his shoulder.
Under our noses, I say, do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the Rapau for their silence.
So it's against the lowest class, is that true?
Take this if you need proof.
He tosses you a silver medallion inscribed with Walian honorifics. Invoice badge. This medallion once graced the neck of a Walian dignitary and was assumed lost after a terrible shipwreck. Now it ended up in the back streets of Nekataka. Is a question that Prince Aruihi once answered. What is this?
An envoy ship sank a day's voyage out of Nekataka. He wore that on his breast. My guards recovered it in a raid of the gullet. This confirms my suspicion. Nekataka has a pirate problem.
Aruihi's upper lip curls with distaste.
Smugglers and thieves cluster like rats in Delver's Row, a growth in the bowels of our city.
Delver's Row is a place in the gullet. That is dangerous, I see.
I want someone to peddle the medallion to the black market, earn the trust of these pirates, and learn how supplies come into my city.
His city? Oh, right. So he's preparing to take over here. His city. Why do you need a watcher for inspection duty?
It must take keen senses to peer through the veil.
Aruhi thumbs his jaw and nods to himself.
Others will miss the details that stand out to you, I'm thinking.
To what end?
It will depend on what you find, I say.
Aruhi folds his arms and scrutinizes the floor between his feet, deep in thought. He's telling the truth, but there's something more to it all the same, and he doesn't trust his face not to betray.
Onikaza leaves this for me to handle. While she worries about the manor, I tidy up the basement.
Huh, basement man. Okay, housekeeper. Now tell me what you're holding back.
I say nothing gets past you. Is there any question why I want you for the job?
He chuckles to himself. It's good that he seems to be open about it.
If we dealt only in pirates, then I would put a trusted agent in rags and send him down hiding in a food wagon. But Akira, I have reason to suspect our problem goes deeper than we know. For this, I want an expert. When you travel down the mountain, seek Takehu in Pariki's Overlook. He is a godlike, one who the people look to for hope.
Aha, Takehu. Where will we find that
Ngati's
Takehu?
chosen knows of our troubles. He could also use a lesson in Raparu modesty.
Doesn't being Ngati's chosen mean he's a kind of savior?
Akira, a kind of something. Takehu was touched by the goddess Ngati at birth. He is as much a creature of the sea as he is Hawana. We are left to interpret what the goddess intends by sending him among us.
Won't a godlike draw unnecessary attention? Never hurts to have a local guide. I'll go find him.
Akira, if I know Takehu, he is stirring tempers in the Water Shapers Guild. Be on your guard in the gullet. I fear the caverns run deeper than even Ngati could guess.
The prince dismisses you with a nod. All right, that sounds interesting. But also everything here looks quite so expensive.
I'll take care of it.
What mechanism controls this door is unclear. The plate does not budge under your fingers. Yeah, well, let's take a look around, right? Can we do that? It seems like we can. Oh, what is this? Did you arrive on the Defiant? Yes, we did. And what's this? Water dances in graceful circles around this coral sculpture. I love it. Look at that. Oh. The fish. Are they real? It's beautiful. It's also... it's a sign of power, right? And what's here? What is that?
Leave it to me.
The Huana depiction of Hylia is almost menacing in its intensity. Well, we helped Hylia as one of the very few gods. Hylia is connected to dragons. And we helped her dragon, so... this might be one of the few shrines that would be important to us. Let's talk to this man. The cartographer bites his thumbnail and mutters to himself.
Watch and learn.
And what's here? Oh, there's something more, eh? The rise of the Cipher Rangas. And an antidote and something more, something's more. So one has finished off a quick meal here and here. Though simple in construction, the sink is clean and tidy. Let's go to the upper floor and maybe we can go back down on the other side. Oh, there's a lot. We could go to the rooftop already. Yeah, let's go to the rooftop. Just let's have a look up there. What's going on there? And then let's go for the deeper things. Pretty curious about what's at the rooftop. Oh, look at that. Another sculpture.
I'll see it done.
Motes of light dart through the winding streams of water like schools of fish. Wow. Oh, that's magic. That's a chord, eh? That's how you do, that is how you do it. It's Jabba the Hutt style. Look at her. That's life. That's life. Some personal parrots. Squirrels holding moon bowls of water. White striped tigers. Whoa. Can we talk to Onekaza?
You make a habit of turning up uninvited.
Yeah, it's our hobby. The queen has affected a far more relaxed posture. A pair of tigers lunge indolently beside her seat. Yeah, Lord Paul can play with them, right? Whew. And let's talk with her in the next episode. Thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. This is Immanuel Khan signing out. See you soon, my friends, and happy gaming.